Welcome to another episode of Mailbag Monday, where Chris and I are answering all of your questions about marketing, data, and AI. This week, Jamal asked, what are the best reports that GA4 has to offer and why? So, Chris, you're sort of the GA4 guru at this point. Um, are there even any good reports in GA4? Let's just start there.
Yes, there are. The report that I think is the most useful to us as marketers is the general attribution reporting. So the general attribution reporting, which is somewhat confusingly stuck under advertising, you can see where Google's priorities are,
Mhm.
is the report that I think makes the most sense for the average marketer to pay attention to, because what it does is it explains in relatively straightforward terms what's working. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to share my screen,
Okay.
just so we're not asking people to imagine this. And if you're listening and you're not watching this on the YouTube channel, head on over to the YouTube channel. You can see this. So if I go into the left-hand menus, there's an advertising section, and then we have sort of all performance. We have model comparison and conversion paths. The model comparison tool is okay, but the conversion path tool is the one that I think makes the most sense. And here's why. This report shows you sort of a customer journey. So you have all of your channel groupings that are by channel, and then you can see the percentage of weight that go away. The percentage of weight that each section of the funnel has. Early is 4% of our conversion impact, mid is 7%, and then last is almost 90%. And so what these do is these essentially say, here's how each stage of your funnel's going, and here's the channels that are most important in each stage. And what you also see here is the importance of each channel within each stage. So for us, well, I'll ask you, Katie, when you look at this, what conclusions do you draw from this?
Well, the first glaringly obvious thing is that we're still not as strong in awareness. We know this. I mean, we've talked about this, we've acknowledged this. Once people come into the Trust Insights ecosystem, they tend to stick around and stay and convert. It's getting net new people into that ecosystem that is still consistently the biggest challenge for us from a resourcing standpoint. So that's what I see. And then the next thing I see is that in terms of channels, email and organic search are our two most important channels.
Exactly right. Now, the other things you can do is you can specify which of the conversion events you want to take a look at. So any events that you've got set up in GA, you can drill down into. So let's take a look at just the In-Ear Insights newsletter. By clicking off on that conversion event, this now will reorganizes itself a little bit. And you can see there's not a huge change here for just that one conversion event. But if I were to change that to, say, thank you pages on the website, the data will slowly rearrange itself. It looks like it's taking a bit of time today, but that will help us that can help you understand a specific conversion. So this speaks to the importance of governance for your GA, because if you don't have your conversion event set up well, you can't do drill down analysis.
I would think that yes, this report is useful, but if you are a very transactional kind of company and you really only do like email marketing or organic social or paid ads, like you only really do one or two channels, this type of report won't be as effective. I mean, what do you think about that, Chris?
I think it obviously won't tell you anything you don't know about the channels, but I think that there's still value in helping you understand the number of touch points, top, middle, and bottom of funnel. This has finally rearranged itself. So this is just thank you pages. And you can see that the thank you pages, there's more upper funnel activity here, right? There is more, there's 10% in early touch points now. There's 23% in mid touch points. So that tells us that from thank you pages, these channels are doing more earlier on in the funnel. Email and organic social, which I think is interesting. Organic search not really doing that much for thank you pages. So that alone tells me, okay, our search might be getting us maybe a new audience, but it's not getting people to convert onto the things that we generate thank you pages for.
Which I think is okay because, we want we typically use organic search as an awareness tool, not as a conversion tool. So in terms of, the importance, I'm okay with that. People don't typically search for our stuff cold. They need to know who we are before they search for our stuff. And so I think that that is completely appropriate. We would have to create different copy, different content in order to so we would have to create two different sets of content for organic search in order to hit the early and the late touch points, which again, at this point, we just don't have the resources to do that. So in terms of how it's working, I feel like it's completely appropriate.
Exactly. Now, the one other thing in here is that you'll notice that you can choose default channel groups, source, medium, or campaign. So you can drill down on those. However, recently added to Google Analytics is custom channel grouping. So if you have you want to do this, you can implement a custom channel grouping. Then in the application, there's starting to be places where you can apply those custom channel groupings to see what's working, what's not. I don't know if it's in this screen, but there are other places, and particularly in Explore Hub, where you can do that. So, for example, organic social, one of the things that gets lumped in there is activity from Slack, right? So I might go into our channel groupings and make a custom channel group for us and have a private social and put in Slack and Discord in there to split that out, because you have like Instagram and TikTok and stuff on the public side, but then those communities where we're making a real effort, my guess is that organic social that's showing up here is really actually private social. So unlike GA3, when you're doing channel groups in GA4, you can toggle back and forth. So you don't need to replicate every single channel to have one view of everything. You can toggle back and forth to look at how things work. So that's something to keep in mind as well.
Now, I know that a lot of companies, a lot of marketers still look at some, fairly high level reporting. And so in the reports themselves, or maybe even in the Explore Hub, I would actually say in terms of like useful reports, I would go to the Explore Hub and start to build, if you're used to seeing, I don't know, like bounce rate and net new visitors and return users, I would go into the Explore Hub and just sort of build a very simplistic dashboard there versus relying on the out-of-the-box reporting you get from all of the behavior reports.
I would 100% agree. The Explore Hub is a better place to do reporting, even if it's just simple stuff, because just the canned reports that are in GA4 really don't do a very good job. You're much better off choosing the dimensions of the metrics you care about, put everything in one place. You can have, in this exploration here, you can create like 5 or 6 tabs. You can then rename those tabs and or change, alter the tabs just how they work. So you could have a set of essentially dashboards, more or less, within Explore Hub that will do a better job than the built-in reports, and are not subject to the query limits that Data Studio is.
And within the Explore Hub, you can build the path exploration report, which at this time you cannot easily do in Data Studio.
You can't do it at all.
Right. You can sort of jerry rig it with step 1, step 2, step 3, but it's not the same. And so I know a lot of marketers are reliant on this kind of reporting. So I would say go to the Explore Hub and recreate the reports there. And then that way, that'll become your useful set of dashboards.
Exactly.
Well, so Jamal, thank you for the question. What are the best reports that GA4 has to offer? So we covered the out-of-the-box attribution reporting, where you can sort of see the first, middle, and end of a basic customer journey. You can drill down to source medium, do the channel groupings. And then we also recommend that you go to the Explore Hub and build some of your reporting there versus being reliant on just the behavior reports in Google Analytics 4.
Exactly. If you've got questions you want answered on the show, pop on over to our free Slack group. Go to trustinsights.ai/analyticsformarketers, where you and over 3,000 other marketers are asking and answering each other's questions every day. And if you want to catch up on previous episodes of Mailbag Monday, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. Go to trustinsights.ai/newsletter, where our content is listed out very handily for you. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk to you next time.